right, listen up, troops. Our next mission takes us into the enemy's pickup territory. The truck market is crowded and represents an intense battleground. A good military tactician scouts the enemy carefully, probes for weaknesses, maps out an appropriate battle plan, and then uses his best shock troops to overrun the enemy position. Today, we're going to put up Comanche Pioneer against the Ford Ranger XLT, the Chevy S10 Tahoe, and the Toyota Deluxe, because they're the volume leaders. Let's begin by going over what's probably familiar ground. First, Comanche has uniframe design. That means the floor pan is welded directly to the frame instead of two units being bolted together. This uniframe process makes for an extremely strong, rigid body frame unit with no weight penalty. Comanche also features Quadra-Link front suspension. Quadra-Link is a much improved version of the solid axle. It performs on the road as well as the independent front suspensions of Ford, Chevy, and Toyota. In the four-wheel drive model, Quadra-Link really comes into its own. It allows our vehicle to crawl over bumps and rocks with more than 5 inches of suspension travel while maintaining maximum traction and control. Quadra-Link also contributes to Comanche's excellent ground clearance. Quadra-Link is an important Jeep exclusive. It's a far superior off-road system, and it's equal to the competition's independent suspension in on-road performance. Another secret weapon that four-wheel drive Comanche uses effectively is the Command Track four-wheel drive system. It allows for shift on the fly from 2 to 4-wheel drive for convenience and safety. The front axle disconnect is accomplished at arm's length. Both Ranger and Toyota require the driver to get out and manually disconnect the front hubs. And that's a little like stepping on a landmine. And Comanche's superiorities don't stop there. Another area we should recon is power and performance. Mounted troops have always depended on power and speed for lightning-quick attacks on enemy positions. Comanche lives up to its name by dominating the field in power and performance. Comanche's standard 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine delivers 121 horsepower against 96 for Ranger, 92 for Chevy, and 102 for Toyota. Comanche also offers the most powerful optional engine in its class. Our PowerTech 6 builds up 177 horsepower against Ranger's optional 140 horsepower. We beat Chevy's optional engine with 160 horsepower and Toyota's optional 140 horsepower engine. Comanche wins the power battle hands down. And that performance has been demonstrated in a series of motorsports victories. Comanche has chalked up 4 manufacturers' championships, 2 on and 2 off-road, and 3 drivers' championships. Comanche is one tough racer. And remember, every championship race truck starts out as a stock Comanche. You've not only got the most power in the field, there are other important advantages that Comanche has to rout the enemy. Size, inside and out, has to be used to your advantage. Comanche has a longer wheelbase and a wider track than all the competition. In wheelbase, we lead with 113 inches against Ford's 107.9, Chevy's 108.3, and Toyota's 103. In track, front and rear, we're 57 inches against Ranger's 55, 54.6, Chevy's 54.1, 54.1, and Toyota's 53.3, 53.9. Remember, longer wheelbase and wide track adds up to a smoother, more stable, and more comfortable ride on and off-road. And Comanche with two-wheel drive has 7.8 inches of clearance against 6.6 for Ranger, 6.4 for Chevy S10, and 7.3 for Toyota. Comanche again wipes out the enemy, and Ford, Chevy, and Toyota are casualties. A four-wheel drive comparison is also favorable. Our clearance is again 7.8 inches against 6.8 for Ranger, and 6.9 for Chevy, and 7.7 for Toyota's clearance. An extra half-inch of clearance doesn't sound like much, but try scraping a half-inch off the transmission housing and see how important a half-inch can be. Inside Comanche, there are still more dimensional advantages over the competition. Comanche has more hip room than all competitors. We're 55.3 inches against their 52.7, 50.5, and 53.5 respectively. You're not going to remember these exact dimensions. You can always look them up in your SET materials. The important thing for you to know is you've got extra firepower in your size, ride, and interior comfort. This section is a collection of missile facts that can be targeted to zero in on the competition. Fire one. Comanche offers 15-inch wheels and tires as standard on two- and four-wheel drive models. All of the competition has 14-inch wheels and tires that represent a little less value as well as a less comfortable ride. Fire two. Comanche has a higher standard payload on two-wheel drive, short wheelbase models. Our standard payload is 1,475 pounds, better than Ranger's 1,200 and Chevy's 1,000. Toyota is ahead with 1,640 pounds. When we compare four-wheel drive long wheelbase models, we wipe out everybody, with our optional big ton package resulting in a payload of 2,205 pounds. This beats comparably equipped competitors like Ranger at 1,360 and Chevy at 1,500 pounds. Toyota's four-wheel drive long wheelbase model's payload is only 1,400 pounds, and there's no optional package. Remember, long wheelbase models represent much of the high-dollar commercial market, so keep your ammo dry and tell those prospects how Comanche dominates the payload action. Fire three. You might say Comanche Pioneer is a highly decorated veteran. It is well outfitted with exterior, interior, and functional appointments that set it apart from competitive pickups. When, however, Comanche is ordered with either of two available option group discounts, the Pioneer becomes a full, dressed-out soldier at terrific savings. Any way you figure it, these option group discount packages are a great deal for the customer by saving from $500 to $1,200. Get to know them and use them to make the best possible deals. Fire four. The final blockbuster from Comanche is the longest backup support on any front. Comanche, like all 89 Jeep models, now carries Chrysler's 770 protection plan. The engine and powertrain are protected for 7 years over 70,000 miles. The warranty also protects against outer body rust through for 7 years or 100,000 miles. Warranties are just another weapon at your disposal to snipe at your competition. Just remember, that you've got the best extended warranty in the field. You've also got an incredible resale record. Kelly's Blue Book lists a used 1988 Comanche two-wheel drive truck as selling for over $1,200 more than the suggested list price. Comanche's industry-leading resale prices have held up since the vehicle was introduced. Well, that's the story from the pickup front. You've got only in a Jeep real superiorities that buyers want. You've got advantages in size, power, engineering features, and handling capacity. Use them to draw up plans for a Comanche blitzkrieg that will blow the competition off the map.